the dumbest kid in the world.
So what happened? You weren't meant to be a failure, Bennett. And you can control your temper, and you can bring your grades up, too. I know you can.
I'm dumb, Mother.
No, you ain't. You a smart boy. You just ain't using that smartness. Now, if you keep getting grades like that, you're gonna spend the rest of your life mopping floors in a factory, and that ain't the life I want for you. You boys watch too much television. You're gonna go to the library and pick out 2 books, and at the end of the week, you're gonna hand me a written report about what you read.
We cannot possibly survive it on television.
Well, you're gonna start now. Why you waste all that time watching the TV? If you use that time to develop your God-given gifts, wouldn't be long before folks was watching you on TV.
Benjamin. Benjamin.
I didn't cheat.
I didn't say you did. What's your score?
24 out of 25.
Lacquer. L-A-C-Q-U-E-R. Lacquer.
That is correct.
Yes!
The certificate for the student with the highest academic achievement in the 8th grade goes to Benjamin Carson.
Occipital craniopagus twins have never both survived this separation.
Yeah.
Doctor?
Which child would you like to see first?
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi everyone. During the break, I watched Gifted Hands after having read the book a few times. It reminds me of the value of being faithful in little things. Those small, everyday decisions we make can shape our lives in big ways. From little things like reducing screen time and using that time to read, Ben Carson went from failing in school to winning competitions and graduating at the top of his class. Ben Carson was described recently as one of the most brilliant and kindest men alive. During his life, he served and advised US presidents and won presidential medals. For 30 years, he served as the Chief of Pediatric Neurosurgery at the Johns Hopkins Children's Hospital. He is the author of 8 books, the best-selling books in the New York Times, one of them being Gifted Hands. Ben Carson is a man that people have a huge amount of admiration and respect for. This incredible man who was bullied and told over and over again that he was worthless, a man who often got 0 on test scores, was mocked by those around him. He was faithful in the little things, and then he was trusted with big things. Ben Carson went from being a student who continually failed in school to a world-class doctor who saved many lives. He performed surgeries that other doctors they wouldn't even attempt because they were too complex and too risky. Ben Carson had many challenges and obstacles along the way, but he was faithful in the little things, and God used him in mighty ways. As we've mentioned before, our college theme this year is faithfulness. In Luke 16 verse 10, Jesus says, "Whoever can be trusted with little can be trusted with much, and whoever is dishonest with little will also be dishonest with much." If Ben Carson had not been faithful in the little things, like reading regularly and working on his temper, his life, and actually the lives of many others, would not be the same today. You may have already seen our faithfulness graphics that link to our college theme. These icons help us to remember that from little things, like a tiny seed, big things grow. Think about this. Every day, we plant seeds with our actions and our choices. Over time, these seeds grow into either good or bad fruit. If we choose to be faithful in the little things, we're preparing ourselves for bigger and greater things. The reverse is also true though. If we are not faithful with the little things, or if we are dishonest with little things, we will not be faithful in bigger things. Being faithful means showing up and doing what needs to be done, even when it's hard or inconvenient. It means being someone others can count on, completing your tasks well, and being there for your friends when they need you. It also means doing things with integrity, being honest, and doing what is right, even when no one is watching. There are many stories in the Bible where we read about people who God used in big ways. But what we often forget to do is to read about those moments, those little moments, those small everyday habits of faithfulness in the little things that prepared them for their big moment. The truth is, though, that those big moments would not have existed without their small daily decisions to be faithful with the little things. One person in the Bible that comes to mind when I think about faithfulness is Daniel. He's the guy you may have heard of that was thrown into the lion's den. The king's officials, they were just so jealous of Daniel, and they were looking for ways to find fault in him, but they couldn't find any. So they deceived the king and got him to make a law that if anyone prayed to God, they would be thrown into the lion's den. Daniel loved God and was faithful to him. He prayed at least 3 times a day, and not praying to God was not even an option for Daniel, regardless of this new law. As a result, Daniel was thrown into the lion's den. Now, this should have really meant certain death, but when the officials went to check on Daniel in the morning, to their surprise, they found that Daniel was alive. God had sent angels to shut the lions' mouths, and miraculously, Daniel was completely unharmed. Daniel refused, despite the consequences, to turn away from God, and he remained faithful. Daniel had made small, everyday habits and was faithful in the little things. These things prepared him for the big moments in life where God used him for big things. Every day we're faced with thousands of small decisions. These decisions are like seeds we sow. We can choose to sow seeds of kindness, of gratitude, forgiveness and generosity, or we could choose to sow seeds of selfishness, bitterness and thoughtlessness. Think of your own life. In your schoolwork, are you sowing seeds of hard work and dedication, or are you being lazy? In your friendships, do you support your mates and listen to them? Are you loyal? Are you trustworthy? At home, do you do your chores without complaining and take the time to thank others for what they do? And in your relationship with God, are you taking opportunities to find out more about Him and what He has done for you? The good news is, it's never too late to start sowing better seeds. It's never too late to ask God to help you with the little things. I saw this discussion you are about to watch on Instagram, and it too talks about the importance of little things.
If you didn't brush your teeth today, no one in this room would know. If you didn't brush your teeth every day
You might.
I might, because I'm in close proximity. If you didn't brush your teeth every day this week, really, a couple of people might notice, but they wouldn't say anything, no real costs. If you didn't brush your teeth every day for 5 years, your teeth would fall out. You'd be on a dental chest screaming, and the question becomes, when did that happen? It happened today. It was that small, seemingly invisible decision, which was easy to do and easy not to do, as they always are, that you chose not to do, that compounded invisibly against you.
What you do in the little things reveals your character. Are you a person who focuses in class? Do you push your chair into your desk when you leave the room? Do you pick up a few pieces of rubbish in the playground each day to help keep our school environment clean? Do you follow the school rules and do what is right, even when you'll prefer not to? Do you wear your hat without being reminded? Do you show respect to your friends, your family and your teachers? These are the things that reveal a person of great character. Let's make a commitment today to be faithful in the little things. Let's give our best to every task, no matter how small it may seem. Because in doing so, we're honouring God and preparing ourselves for the bigger and better things that He has in store for us. Pause for a moment now and think about one little thing you can do to change today to be more faithful in the little things. Have a great day.